Aloha. Good morning. Happy Friday. Woo woo. I have been up for like hours writing a paper because I'm also in grad school. This is the real life of adulting. Um, and I wanted to make sure that we popped in and answered one of our requests from yesterday about things to talk about. So, okay, have you ever been in a situation where someone's like, you just need to go out and network, and that's going to be your like ticket to success and fulfillment and happiness? And you're like, I hate networking. Like, why is networking the answer? Why is this what people always tell me what to do? I don't want to do that. I feel you. I really feel you. I'm an introvert. I also have that first reaction when someone suggests going to a networking event or, yeah. So I feel you. I have that gut instinct of like, no, thank you. And I have learned that meeting people and building relationships are kind of the answer. So finding ways to do this thing called quote unquote networking, which is also just meeting people and making connections with people. You have to find ways to do it that work for you. And there are a few unspoken rules. So this is a question someone asked me or shared with me that this has been a struggle, that there's some unspoken rules of networking that nobody really tells us. And some people know how to start a conversation and have that conversation build into a networking relationship, and other people don't. And it can be frustrating when maybe you see other people networking around you or building relationships and connections around you, and you're not, for whatever reason. So we're going to cover like the unwritten rules of networking, and they're pretty basic. And then we're also going to talk about how you can actually network really effectively and get people to be your BFF superhero really quickly, even if they don't really have like an objective reason to necessarily, or why would they choose you over some other young person who wants to network with them? Okay, so in terms of like the sequencing, the unwritten sequencing of how to build a relationship with someone, I think the most important things that I would share are when you identify somebody who might be a good networking opportunity, whether you're at an event and they maybe work for somebody that you're interested in working for or learning about, or you just find them on LinkedIn. The first thing that you can always do is send them an email. Share something that you've known, that you've read about them, or if you're introducing yourself, share something that you know about the industry or are curious about the industry. Show that you actually know something about them, like are reaching out to them with a purpose. And then ask, just literally make a really, really polite ask. Say something like, I know that you are really busy, you have a lot on your plate. Give them the reason that I would want to meet with you is because I am really interested in learning blank about your experience, the industry that you're in, whatever it might be, and then give them an out. Well, we already did that. Like, you're really busy, it might not work. Always give them an out so they don't feel cornered. But then also make the ask and be really specific about it. Say, could we have a 20-minute phone call maybe this Thursday or Friday? I'd be happy to have a coffee chat, or we can pick up over the phone. Or another out you can give them is we can also correspond via email. Do you have a card? Okay, so show interest, say something about them that you have researched or have some idea, like show that you're not just randomly picking people out of the crowd. Tell them why you would want to speak with them, like what about them or what about their experience is really interesting to you, and why are you interested in that? And then give them a lot of outs, like be super polite and acknowledge that they're really busy, because ultimately they are doing you a favor. Give them a few outs of this might not be a good time, or I'd love to meet in person, but if that's not possible, we could do over the phone or via email. And then make the really specific ask, like I would love to have 20 minutes. Do you have a card that I could follow up with? Okay, so be really, really specific about, hey, be really, really specific about what the ask is and give them many outs along the way. So that's the best thing to do when you're first meeting someone. And this is similar to what we spoke about with mentorship. But once you have that first meeting, then you can decide whether or not it is useful for you to follow up with them and make another ask. So maybe you have a great meeting, then you can feel comfortable saying, hey, I saw this job opening at your company that I just applied for. I just wanted to let you know, like keeping people updated about what it is that you're doing in relation to them and their work. Literally just like an FYI, I dropped my application on this thing. That's totally appropriate after you've had that first conversation and started to build the relationship a little bit. The other thing that you can ask them for once you've had that first meeting is if they can connect you to other people in their organization. But don't start the first conversation with, hey, you might know X. Could you make the introduction for me? No, you have to start by showing interest in that person, because at the end of the day, networking is about human relationships, and human relationships are built on the desire to be seen and heard and loved and respected. So, I mean, it feels kind of like fluffy, but we're all humans. It doesn't matter if they're the CEO of Pepsi or whatever. Like, they're still a human and they still want to be seen and respected. And so you need to make them feel that way. And that's how they're going to turn around and see you in that way too, and want to invest in you, because again, they're doing you a favor. Okay, and then the other thing that really would make you stand out from the crowd of other people who might want to get to know them or have 20 minutes of their time is to really think about how you can help them. So sometimes it's almost like an unlisted, unpaid internship. So if you are really trying to get to know somebody or get to know an organization, there is a lot of power in saying, hey, I have this experience. I don't know if it would be useful for you, but I would love to contribute to your mission or to your work, or this is some way that I might be able to help you. And that just shows that you are over investing in their success, and you have their success at the heart of why you're connecting with them. I mean, of course, you have your own reasons too, but you really want to show that you, again, care about the organization, care about that person, and that you have something to offer them. So it's an equal exchange. I've spoken with a lot of women recently as we've been building the mentorship program for Rise, who are, over the age of 30, who are a little further in their career, and their reflections on working with people like younger millennials and Generation Z. Unfortunately, some of them are a little bit hesitant to build these relationships because they have experienced that there is kind of this sentiment amongst some people, some younger people, that they just don't see the two-way street aspect of networking or mentoring. They really see it as, hey, I'm a young person, and for some reason, just by living on this earth, I deserve to have your time and to have your wisdom and expertise. That is not true. You have to earn the right to have somebody share their network, share their knowledge, share their support with you. And the way that you can do that is by being humble, by being polite, by being transparent, by being earnest, by really caring about the person, and by investing in them, doing your best. Even if you think you have nothing to offer, just really think, maybe I'm good at grant writing, maybe I'm good at event organizing, maybe I have a large social network and I can help promote an event for you. Just think about what you have that you could actually give to them, because it's a two-way street. They do not owe you anything. So when you are networking, especially if you're trying to build a relationship, you get that first meeting, think about what it is that you could offer to them. So that's not something that you necessarily will say the first time you meet someone, the first time you message someone on LinkedIn or send an email. But when you do have that conversation, really prepare with something that they might be interested in too, that you could help them with. And then it really gets the exchange going. And I think for a lot of older mentors or people you might be trying to connect with, they do have some of them have a little bit of a negative view of our generation, because they have kind of been burned by people who reach out to them and then don't follow through, or don't really show the gratitude for what their mentors or their networks have offered to them. So just don't be entitled is really all it is. Be humble, and be grateful for being able to learn from people who have gone before us, because they've done a lot of hard work to get to where they are. So it's not a given that they're going to share stuff with you. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for submitting a question yesterday. If anybody else has other topics, we have 2 more days, T-3 until RAS opens. So if you want to become a member, we're open for public enrollment on Monday. And we're doing 2 more days because this is our countdown to adulting, and we launch on Monday. So T-3. We have Saturday and Sunday left. And if you have any other topics that you want us to cover, feel free to comment. If you're on Instagram, send us a message, whatever you want to do, and we'll make sure to address that. We have 1 more with me tomorrow and 1 with Maddie on Sunday. All right, guys, hope you have a great Friday. Bye.